All right, on to this. Javier Milei, Argentina's president-elect, becoming the world's first libertarian leader and receiving a special message of support from former President Trump.
A very special congratulations to Javier Milei on a great race for president of Argentina. The whole world was watching, and I am very proud of you. You will turn your country around and truly make Argentina great again.
And in a phone call this week, Trump also told the president-elect that he plans to visit Buenos Aires in the coming months as conservatism and the Trump movement is winning again all around the world. Here with reaction, Dissident Project founder Danielle DiMartino. Danielle, great to have you on. Let's talk about Milei, and then let's also move on to what's happening globally, because this is quite an interesting trend, especially in these Spanish-speaking countries. So you say this election of Milei is a once-in-a-generation opportunity for Argentina, which has had many financial problems. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, look, Argentina is the country that has gone bankrupt the most times in history. And this all has happened in the last century. Argentina, at the turn of the 20th century, was one of the world's richest countries, and decades of excessive government spending, deficits, inflation have completely destroyed the country. And so the people were fed up and finally voted for somebody who wants to cut spending, balance the budget, close the central bank, and even adopt the US dollar. And I think that it's the thing that you need.
Yeah, I mean, he says he's going to close the Ministry of, I think it's Women and Gender and Equality, but he's also, and this is probably going after your economist geek heart, Danielle, he says he wants to close the central bank or at least radically reform it.
That's right. Argentina is heading to 200% inflation this year. This means that prices are going to triple. That is something that it's only behind Venezuela in inflation around the world. So what Milei is proposing is let's get our house in order in the central bank. Let's adopt the US dollar. And that way, you know, maybe the US isn't in the best inflation position right now, but we are around 3-4% right now, which is much better than Argentina. And obviously that's going to be great for the United States because there's going to be more trade with us. There's going to be more demand for our currency. So it actually is going to cost lower prices in the U.S., at least slightly. And so this is great for the West.
So you have Milei in Argentina, you have Bukele in El Salvador, you have Eduardo Verástegui, who is running for president in Mexico, who, by the way, just had a meeting with Milei about sex trafficking and so forth. Then you have Santiago Abascal, the Vox party leader, on the rise in Spain. Other movements in Northern Europe. But what is happening particularly in the Spanish-speaking world, and how much does this have to do with the success of Trump?
Well, look, I think, Latin America, as you and I know, has been plagued by many socialist governments for a very, very long time. And really what people need to understand is that the reason why there's so much migration at all away from Latin America is because these governments have destroyed their countries. And we need to take those countries back to freedom, to economic liberty, to political freedom, to safety, tackling crime, like many countries are starting to do. And I'm hopeful. You know, it's not America. I think America has always been the beacon of freedom and example. And so I think that if America goes in a good direction, obviously gives, a good inspiration for the rest of the world. What it looks like now, though, is that Argentina is the one, hopefully, that's going to provide the example for the rest of the Spanish-speaking world. And so that's what I'm praying for. I'm very excited for Milei, and I think he's going to do well.
Yeah, everyone is watching this situation very closely to see what he does. He seems to be wanting to make some radical reforms and changes very quickly. Can't come quick enough for the Argentine population. But Danielle, thanks for breaking it down. It's fascinating what's happening in Latin America. Thank you.
Thank you.
You got it.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.